Well, folks, here we again for the weekly forecast. Now, I've been gone for the last couple weeks, and we had a couple precipitation events that moved through the region. Of course, the most important one was Mother's Day through the following day, where we had some extensive precipitation develop across central and eastern Nebraska, along with some very significant severe weather. And unfortunately, a little bit of flooding damage and wind and, of course, tornadic damage, particularly in the town of Beaver City. And then, of course, this last couple days, we've started to see an active thunderstorm development along the front range of the Rocky Mountains, translating eastward across the plains as we have an upper air low in the southwest that's slowly migrating into our region. And that trend is expected to continue through at least the Memorial Day weekend before we start to see an easing of conditions as we progress into the middle of next week. So let's take a look at the upper air patterns and see how this may translate into additional moisture for us. Here's that upper air low, and of course the jet stream is way to our north and then dipping over the northeastern United States. So this upper air low is caught away from the flow and is slowly progressing eastward. So for today, we're expecting thunderstorm development along the front range of the Rocky Mountains all the way down to the central plains. And then as the night progresses, some of that activity will move eastward. So it's a very good potential that eastern Nebraska may see some scattered thunderstorm activity as we get into tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, the farther north and east you go from this upper air low, the less the chances for precipitation. So northeast Nebraska is likely not to see much in the way of significant moisture. Now, as we go to tomorrow, you'll see this low slowly pivots eastward. Once again, we'll see another round of thunderstorms developing from the southern and central plains northward into southern Nebraska. And those conditions continue as we get into Monday, although the low will start moving the moisture a little bit farther toward the east. So we'll see less of an impact in western Nebraska. Much of southern and southeast Nebraska looks to be under the gun for scattered thunderstorm activity, and unfortunately northeast Nebraska looks to be the farthest away from the decent moisture source. Now, as we get into Tuesday, that low will start pivoting into eastern Texas. That's probably going to really slow down the chance for thunderstorm activity across eastern and southern Nebraska. And then as we get into Wednesday, this low starts pushing away to the Gulf, and we'll start to see high pressure building in, so we start to see some clearing skies. And those will continue on in the day on Thursday before we'll start to see this trough making its way into the northern Rockies, and that actually may generate some thunderstorm activity. There is indications that this low may break off and form another closed low in the southwest, and we'll go through a repeat conditions as we go into early June. The model's a little uncertain at this point in time. Now, as we look at the temperature forecast, mainly cloudy conditions this weekend with isolated thunderstorms to scattered thunderstorm activity, particularly across the southern half of the state and the Panhandle. And then we'll see that trend move into eastern Nebraska on Monday and Tuesday, leaving western Nebraska dry. And then we see a drying trend on Wednesday and Thursday before more active weather may erupt as we get into Friday. As we look at the 8 to 14-day forecast, it looks like the temperatures will remain above normal. Precipitation chances will start to shift more dramatically to our east. And then we look at the June forecast. Looks like cooler conditions across the northern plains, above normal temperatures across the southern Rockies and in the southern plains, but more importantly, above normal moisture looks to be in the forecast for the entire Rocky Mountain system, including the central plains.